Hey, my name is Desiree. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. So today is another little sit down video. You may or may not know that my mom passed away earlier this year, and it has been a challenge wrestling in my mind on whether or not I still believe in the power of prayer and to what degree, because I'll get into it. But I just wanted to first preface this by stating that I am not attacking anyone who doesn't believe in the power of prayer, who does believe in the power of prayer. This is coming from an honest place. Once I started to do the voiceover for the video footage that I have, that I will show you some clips of, I broke a couple of times and realized that this was very, very personal, and I felt kind of nervous to even continue on to even share it. But I am reminded of my why I do any of this stuff, and it really is to help bring people closer to God so that no one misses out on God. And I feel like these are the types of tough conversations and topics that have to be spoken about, because there are people out there who feel alone. You might be one of them, and you wonder, you may look at somebody like me. I'm wearing my bold-faced shirt for extra boost of confidence. You may see people who are, mature in the faith, who've been a Christian a long time and have prayer lives and all of these things, and you may look at them and think that they have it all together and they've mastered it all. And I'm here to tell you that is not entirely true. There is always something to learn still, if you give God the opportunity to still teach you. If you're still teachable and moldable, you will always find new things to learn in this faith journey, in this walk with Christ. And as your relationship grows, and the longer you're in a relationship with God, as with any relationship, you will continue to learn new things. It will change. Seasons will change. Seasons will have you questioning, have you wondering, having you booed up, having you excited, having you sad. You will go through all of those experiences because it's a relationship with God, just like any other human relationship. Relationship with your pet, relationship with your job, relationship with your family. If it's a relationship, there are going to be ebbs and flows, and this is one of those periods where there was some static ebbs. As much as I was trying to hold on, there were some things that rocked my understanding and my belief, and I had to find a way to come back to a new ground level and a new understanding and a fresher understanding of who God is. And this whole experience has just moved me in the right way forward. With all of that said, I will insert some clips of a walk that I had and that I'm going to be sharing. I'm reading out of my journal. I had all of this in my mind. I even shared some of it in the support group that I'm a part of, which is Grief Share. They're not a sponsor, don't worry. The Grief Share, definitely check them out, griefshare.org. They are available internationally. You can go to meetings online or in person, and they are a faith-based group. And I shared a little bit about this last night in our group, and I felt compelled, one, because of the reaction that I got, to be honest, in a positive way, that it made sense, and also because I know that there is somebody out there experiencing something similar, or questioning God, or questioning prayers that have not been answered the way that we wanted them to be answered. And there's not a lot of talk about it that I have come across. Not that I was looking for it either, but it's not like a freely spoken about thing. So all of that intro, let's get into what I wrote, and I pray that it is encouraging to you. And I pray that I do not break down crying, that I'm able to get through this, that I got my tears out. You will hear my heart, and that it will encourage you. All right. Since the passing of my mom, a thought I have wrestled with is, do I still believe in the power of prayer? I'm a prayer warrior. I pray in belief that God will turn bad things around for my good and whoever I'm praying for. I declare, I denounce, I use specific scriptures, I anoint the people I love and am praying for, and our space, my home, with oil that I pray over and oil that I have even fasted over. I have books with prayer declarations. I preach about having bold faith. And when my mom was in the hospital the final time, I prayed over her. I declare God's word. I ask God for extra time like he gave King Hezekiah. I spoke in tongues. I cried over her. And then at home, when she came home, friends and family came and did the same. Around the world, in many prayer groups, others did the same. So many prayers, so much faith. Yet she still never recovered, and she still transitioned to heaven. Although there was peace in me when she passed because I knew where she was going and what she was gaining, it still stung that our prayers weren't answered in the way we wanted, declared, and demanded them to be answered. I think that for me, that was one of the biggest disappointments moving forward from her leaving. And then I thought about the times when we were in limbo, those final few days, secretly praying to God that he would just take her so that she wouldn't suffer anymore. I remember feeling overcome with pain and grief one day, rushing over to her room, throwing myself on top of her and begging out loud, sobbing to God, please make a choice. Heal her or take her, because this in between is torture. And with that, I feel a tinge of guilt because he did answer that prayer. He took her. And in the past few weeks, I've been wrestling with those thoughts. And earlier this week, I got an answer. I do believe in the power of prayer. Why? Because of what God showed me during a walk in the garden. I appreciate that about God. If we are paying attention, slow down, and be quiet, we get to hear him and see him answer our questions. Not all of them, because some things do belong to God and are more than we could ever understand, but other things he helps us to see. See it with understanding in ways that make sense in our minds, our simple yet complicated minds. He showed me 3 bed gardens. One had chili peppers and marigolds. The second in the middle had one plant surrounded by dirt and soil. And the third box had a variety of wild flowers in different colors, sizes, shapes, and stages of life. Prayers are like seeds, he showed me. And faith, hope, and trust are 3 different things. When a gardener plants specific items, they usually put them in a certain order, label, and know exactly what to expect. The advanced gardeners have seed planting down to a science and expect the same results each time. And more times than not, they get exactly what they planted. And that's where we want to be. We want to know that if I pray this prayer, this formula, we're going to get what we expect. And that doesn't always happen. Then there is the garden in the middle with only one plant among a ton of soil. Perhaps all the seeds were planted at the same time. I don't know. But either way, they receive the same soil nutrients, water, space, and sun, yet there is little to no bloom except for the one. As my best friend said, sometimes our prayers are planted, but perhaps others aren't answered or bloom because of the effect it would have on the one that did sprout. Not because they didn't pray enough, weren't strong enough, or I add, not important enough, but because it wasn't time or appropriate. She says we don't know what is being placed in motion and would be interrupted or deferred because of a yes to a prayer that we had. Then there's the garden that I saw with all types of random flowers at different stages of life. Some bright and some tall and curved wildly, some stored and alive, some withering or dead. Some died to make room for others to live. Some are not on the straight or narrow, but eventually they end up where they're supposed to be. They keep facing the sun. And then there are those who are vibrant. Yes, to be an encouragement and example to others who are watching. Whatever the case, they all have a purpose and serve a purpose. They would not even exist had the seed not been planted. The gardener planted wildflower seeds unsure of what would land, take root or bloom, but he had faith that something would bloom. He had hope that they would be beautiful. He had trust that whatever came out of it was meant to be, whether he understood why or not. At the end of the day, I'm sure the gardener was just grateful for the opportunity and space to plant the seeds in the first place. So now I look at prayer as planting seeds. Sometimes I get what I expect and hope for. Sometimes only one part of the prayer is an answered yes. And sometimes there is a mix that take on forms that I didn't anticipate. But at the end of the day, I trust the most holy God, the most high God, to make the right decision. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to plant seeds of prayers, and that he takes every single prayer into consideration. I may never know why my mom was healed in heaven instead of earth. I may never know why my prayers for others' healing was granted on earth. But I won't stop planting my prayer seeds. I do hope and trust, though, that in time, I won't let the doubt of not getting what I want overshadow the fact that God can do anything and that he knows what's best, yet still wants to hear from me. Keep sowing those seeds and trust God. I hope that was an encouragement to you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm not going to elaborate more than I already did. I'm going to set it there, let it soak and simmer. Let that seed settle in your soil. And I pray that in due time, if it doesn't make sense, that it will make sense. And if it does make sense, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And that's it. Until next time, stay safe, well, and blessed. Bye.